Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 184. And I have a couple of updates, small ones. And the first is that I am out of canisters, so the fuel storage is full again, which means the refinery has stopped working. But we're going to fix that later, hopefully. Now, I made a change to the program in these microcontrollers, which controls this level display for the fuel reservoir, which I made quite a while back. And I'm going to show you that quickly. So there was an issue with the microcontrollers, which made it so that when the service started, one of the components inside of the microcontrollers wasn't available when the program ran, which caused them to crash and shut down. So let's see. I should have the program in here. So I don't feel like mixing in, editing, and recording from outside of Minecraft right now, so we're going to have a look here. So here, the geolyzer analyze this line would return nil in the variable named scan on the first cycle, or one of the first cycles. I'm not sure exactly when it happens, but when... Hello, Forecaster from post recording here. So I explained this stupidly when I recorded this. So what happens is that when geolyze.analyze is run, the component isn't loaded immediately when the server is starting up. So it sets scan to nil, and that caused the program to crash. So I added an if scan is not nil, then run the normal check for Minecraft error. And if scan is nil, it will just skip the bulk of the program and ignore it, and then continue running as normal. And we'll keep doing this until scan is set properly, and then the program will work, so it won't crash. And now back to past Forecaster. Because now the microcontrollers don't crash on server start anymore, which means that I don't have to go back and turn them back on when I want to see the level in the reservoir. It's kind of useless right now because the reservoir is obviously full, so which is pretty easy to see. Another thing I did is I removed the gasoline from this provider frame, or requester frame, whatever it's called. It is a requester frame, yeah, obviously. So now once the current supply of gasoline in here runs out, these are going to start running on LPG again, which is going to help prevent the LPG tanks from filling up eventually, because there's nothing else using LPG except when I make plastic. So with that out of the way, we can actually pop upstairs and check on the bees. Should have run out by now. So in this episode, we are going to head into the Twilight Forest, but we are not going on an adventure like we usually are when we go there. We're actually going there to collect resources. Stupid. This is not supposed to be here, nor is this stupid Enderman. So I have designed the next building for the new base, and it is going to be the power plant, which is probably going to be the central structure. I haven't chosen a location for it yet, but the power plant is a huge building, and for whatever reason I decided to build it out of maze stone mostly, accented by blood-stained bricks. Oops, no, actually wanted that. So Railcraft adds a block called blood-stained brick, and you make that by coloring smooth sandstone with either rotten flesh or raw beef. And rotten flesh is obviously the cheaper option. And you can turn that into a brick block. Can't really see, but this is the small kinds of bricks. And you turn that from fitted, and fitted you get from the bloodstained block, which is what you make from the sandstone, of course. And then we have the maze stone, which also has a small brick version, along with a couple of other blocks. And in total, the power plant building consists of 4,786 blocks in total, and most of those are maze stone, close to 3,300 or so, plus some extra for the decorative versions. And the only way to get maze stone blocks is to harvest them from a maze, or labyrinth as I've been calling them. I guess maze is more appropriate when I think about it. And I'm pressing R right now on these, which you can't see because clickety-clack doesn't work when you have an interface open. And none of these blocks have recipes. So the only way to get them is to collect them from a labyrinth, like I said. And one of the ways to do that, or there are a couple of ways to get them, and as we saw in the previous episodes, one of those is by using explosives, which can break the blocks. They don't have very high explosion resistance, obviously. They do have ridiculously high hardness. They aren't unbreakable. They just have incredibly high hardness, which means that breaking them with normal tools would take a long, long time. But I don't think it is impossible. The other way is by using a maze breaker, which is a special artifact that you can find. I think it has a chance to appear in the mazes, probably in the central treasure room that we discovered in the last episode, or in the episode before that, I'm not entirely sure. And it might have a chance to appear otherwise in the Twilight Forest, not entirely sure about that either. But I haven't found one yet, so I can't do that. And besides, I don't really want to do that or the explosives route, because it would take ages. And I wish I did, but unfortunately I don't have unlimited time or patience. So what I'm going to do is use the advanced miner from Industrial Craft 2, obviously, to see if that can collect the maze stone. And if I were to guess, I would guess that the answer is yes. Now I think I would like to make another of these charging energy crystal, basically. I think I found a supply of rubies. Question is where I put those. Should allow me to make another set of energy crystals. Ah, right, here we go. Found a lot of rubies. And the recipe was this. And diamond dust, and then I need a bunch of redstone, which I may or may not have here. There's some more rubies. Put those there. That should do. And we're going to need some more diamond dust. I think 2 should do. Now I have a macerator somewhere. That's the macerator. I haven't used these machines in a while. So that is 1 crystal. Because I'm going to need to bring a bunch of power into the Twilight Forest, of course. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. So there's 1 crystal. I already have 1 over there, of course, which you can use. Probably. That should be another one, and then we should need 3 more diamonds to make another crystal. Probably, if I'm not completely mistaken, which is certainly a possibility. But no, that should be it. So there we have that. Is this charged? This looks charged. It's not charged. Alright. So then, next, for the battery, we need... Oh, right. Well, never mind. I'm not doing that right now. Actually, since I have the crystals, I might as well charge them and bring them as they are. But making them into a charging energy crystal allows you to compress this capacity into a single item, of course. Which is pretty convenient. I could pack them into a box, I suppose. Would have the same effect, except I need to unpack them to use them, of course, which is a drawback. But I'm not going to spend the time to make the charging battery right now. That is something left over from a train copying incident. So I'm going to delete that. Let's see. We can put that away. Tin ore we can throw into the ore processing system. So I'm trying to gather my thoughts a little here. See what I need. Right, chests. I need a chest or 2. I'm also going to need a bunch of packing tape. Doesn't look like I actually have any chests. Do I have some planks around here? Let's have a bunch in here. So let's get a chest. We're going to need that for the output of the miner. I'm also going to bring a bunch of pipes. Let's see. This doesn't actually have any pipes in it. Where's my... this is my miner. I actually have stuff in here for this already. So what I should probably do is take that and put that in here. Where's my OV scanner? Don't tell me I forgot that at the construction site. Oh well, whatever. I'm not going to go back for that. Going to have to use the OD scanner, I suppose. So let's grab this backpack and all of the power we are carrying with us, and we'll head in. Right, might want to bring some more packing tape, I think. Do I have any? Pretty sure I have a... Right, I have a box with packing tape, so we'll just bring that, of course. And then we're going to head to the Twilight Forest, and I'm going to wander over to where the mazes are. And I'm stuck in the loop. I hate these portals. I absolutely hate them. And then there's this, which is the game's fault, of course. So, I'm going to wander over in this direction. I'm going to cut out the trip to save episode time, of course. So I will see you in a little bit when I get there. Alright, so I'm back. I had some poisoned water. And I'm come up on one of the mazes here now. I don't know if this is one of the ones I have been in or not. I don't think, because there are 4, and I forgot to grab my maps. Because there are 4 around the swamp. This is one of the ones I've gotten. It's the one that I had to punch my way into, in creative mode, of course, to reach. And, yeah, so we're just going to set the miner up on the surface, I suppose. Somewhere above the maze. Let's see, do I have a chainsaw handy? No, I have that packed away. Now, I want to collect as much stone as possible, of course. I want all of it, because I'm going to need a lot. I'm not even sure if all of this is going to be enough. But we are going to set up shop up here. So I'm going to have to move the miner around, of course. But we're going to do a kind of a little test run, I suppose. Now, I think what I might do is run it in blacklist mode without any filter to start with. And then as it collects things I don't want, I'm going to stop it by taking the scanner out and put that block into the filter. Like, it is inevitably going to collect a bunch of dirt, which I don't want, of course. Forest got lively all of a sudden. So let's start it up. And the first sign of a block that we don't want, we are going to stop it. There we go. There's one. Oak wood. Don't want you collecting oak wood. Stop being noisy, stupid forest. And pretty much... Oh, dirt. Don't want to collect dirt. It's going to ruin the landscape. It's going to have to go through a couple of layers, of course, before it reaches the maze, or the top of the maze. I do want to collect ores. I don't know if there are much ores in the grounds ground here, they tend to be concentrated in the hollow hills, is where you find so hole here. In the hollow hills is where you tend to find most ores in the Twilight Forest, of course. But it wouldn't hurt to get some mushrooms. I suppose you can collect mushrooms. That's pretty much whatever. And I'm going to set this up like this, of course, like we had it before, or like we usually have the miner set up, to put the things it collects into drawers. And I'll probably put the other chest and the end as a kind of miscellaneous. And I'm going to have to supervise this, and I'm not going to record the entire process, of course. Probably actually don't want this running right now until we have started filtering properly. We're going to want to filter out gravel and stone eventually as well. And hopefully it can actually collect the maze stone, because if it can't, that is going to be a problem. Don't know where I got an oak sapling from, but dang it. I did not mean to throw that. Let's go down and get it, I suppose. At least we can climb all the way. Although I think we're going to have a problem here, yeah. Right. That's not my exit. These root strands. But yeah, so I'm basically going to have to do this for all 4 mazes in turn. And of course the mazes are quite vast, probably well beyond the range of this OD scanner and probably even the OV scanner. So I'm going to have to move the miner around this area to collect the entirety of the maze. Once I've stopped recording for this episode, I'm probably going to go find the OV scanner wherever I put that, probably over by the construction site somewhere, to speed this process up a bit, to make it so I don't have to move the miner around quite as much. Come on. Kinda wish I had the GPS tool with me so I could see what Y level the maze is at. Probably next time I'll put the stuff further down, just above where the maze starts. Okay, so I will be back once it has reached almost to the maze. Alright, so I'm back, obviously. I chopped down this oak tree here for some wood. I made a couple of emerald storage upgrades for the drawers. And as you can see, it started collecting maze stone. I filter out gravel because I don't want that, of course. So it can collect the stone without any problems. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the extractor on. And of course I don't want torchberries or mushrooms in there, and there are some decorative Maystone. I'm going to put an emerald upgrade on those, because we're going to need a lot of those. And I think 400 stacks should be sufficient. We're not going to need quite as many of the decorative ones, just 192 of these. Not sure how many stacks that is, but 32 should be fine, I think. Fences are alright, I suppose. It can probably collect those. I might want to have it ignore chests. Because if it breaks the chests, it is going to spill the items out, because it doesn't collect the contents of blocks, it just collects the block itself. But if I leave them, or if I have it leave the chests, it is going to... they're going to be left, of course, with their contents. Sand, I don't want you to collect either. Don't really need that. And then I can go inside, because there's going to be a whole open space left. Let's put sand in there. Not bother with that. Most of that is going to be from the surface anyway, which I don't want it to affect as much as possible. What is this? Maystone brick. That is the majority of what we're going to need, so that is where the other emerald upgrade is going to go. Iron bars are useful, so I'm going to let it collect those. Because why wouldn't I? And we might need more drawers. So I'll probably make some more, which is pretty easy because there's plenty of wood around here. I do have some more clay pipes, and there should probably be clay to find around here too, should I need to make more of those. I might have to throw up a quick furnace to get some glass, but that is fine. Or maybe I'll just grab some glass when I... Hey, you're not supposed to mine gravel. Maybe I shouldn't have two. I don't know if that matters. Probably doesn't, but something made it pick up some more gravel, which is weird. Let's put that away. But yeah, so these two are, whoops, the Maystone bricks and the Maystone are the ones we're going to need the most of. Second to that, we have the bloodstained bricks, which come up to 364. And I'm going to have to make those, of course. It's going to take a lot of sandstone, which I'm going to have to produce. I actually have stuff here to filter with. I suppose I could have used that for the gravel and such, but oh well. I don't think I have cobblestone. I should probably put a piece of cobblestone in here right away, because I don't want you to dig up stone either. But yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for this episode. I'm actually going to stop this, and I'm going to go find the OV scanner, because if I switch, I'm going to have to rescan from the top anyway to get the outer blocks. So I might as well stop it now to save some power. And then in the next one, I don't actually know what we will be doing, but hopefully it will be something interesting. I thought of something earlier, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, with that, I am back for a quick addendum. I found the OV scanner, and it was in one of my industrialist's backpacks, which didn't occur to me that that was a possibility for some reason, but oh well. I went back and looked for it, got some glass like I said I would. So yeah, at least now you don't have to freak out about that until the next episode. What the... where'd you come from? That's weird. But yeah, so I'll again see you in the next episode.